Hey guys! Today we're learning English with the amazing Disney Pixar film, Coco. Before we begin, if you're new here, let me briefly explain how today's lesson will work. First, we'll watch a short clip from this movie that shows a key moment. Then we'll learn from the clip using simple grammar, useful vocabulary, and common expressions. Let's watch the clip.
Though I have to say goodbye, remember me.
All of this came from my amazing fans in the land of the living. They leave me more offerings than I know what to do with. Hey, what's wrong? Is it too much? You look overwhelmed.
No, it's all great.
But...
It's just... I've been looking up to you my whole life. You're the guy who actually did it. But did you ever regret it? Choosing music over everything else?
It was hard, saying goodbye to my hometown, heading off on my own.
Leaving your family?
See, but I could not have done it differently. One cannot deny who one is meant to be. And you, my great-great-grandson, are meant to be a musician. You and I, we are artists, Miguel. We cannot belong to one family. The world is our family. Oh, the fireworks have begun. All of this came from my amazing fans in the land of the living. They leave me more offerings than I know what to do with.
Offerings normally means gifts or presents that people give to someone. In the film, offerings are objects that people put on an altar to remember the souls of those who have died. For example, people leave photographs, favorite foods, and flowers as offerings.
Hey, what's wrong? Is it too much? You look overwhelmed.
No.
Overwhelmed means feeling too many emotions or having too much happening at once that it becomes hard to manage. For example, when her first baby was born, she felt totally overwhelmed. Or, when she received his acceptance letter to university, she felt totally overwhelmed.
When I'm overwhelmed, I force myself to do one simple thing before I have to make a decision. Close my eyes and take 3 deep breaths.
It's all great.
But...
It's just... I've been looking up to you my whole life.
Look up to means to respect someone and think they are a good example to follow. It is used when you admire a person's qualities, achievements, or actions, and want to be like them. For example, if you say, "I have been looking up to you my whole life," it means you have always respected that person, learned from them, and considered them a role model.
You're the guy who actually did it.
The sentence, "You're the guy who actually did it," contains a relative clause. Who actually did it is the relative clause, and it gives more information about the guy. Who is a relative pronoun that refers to people and connects the main sentence to the extra information. For example, he is the athlete who won the gold medal, or she is the girl who is wearing a red dress.
But did you ever regret it? Choosing music over everything else?
Regret means to feel sorry about something you did or didn't do in the past. Choosing music over everything else means Ernesto put music first and gave up his family and home for it. So when Miguel asks, "But did you ever regret it?" he is really asking, do you feel bad about choosing music and putting it above your family and everything else in your life?
Taylor, you're not 14 anymore, okay? Maybe it's time that you let that stuff go. If your father's not at your wedding, you're gonna regret it for the rest of your life.
It was hard, saying goodbye to my hometown, heading off on my own.
Hometown means the place where you were born or grew up. It is the city or town that feels like home. For example, after finishing university, he returned to his hometown to be with his family.
It was hard, saying goodbye to my hometown, heading off on my own.
Heading off on my own means leaving a place to start a new journey alone. It shows independence and taking a new step in life without help from others. For example, he packed his bags and headed off on his own to travel the world.
He and Kate booked a villa for Christmas Day, and then on the 26th, they are heading off on a 5-day sailing trip.
Leaving your family?
See, but I could not have done it differently.
The sentence, "but I could not have done it differently," is in the past modal perfect form. Let's look at what it means and how it's structured. Past modal perfect form is used to talk about something that was impossible in the past, or a situation that could not have been different. Its structure is subject plus could not have plus past participle. For example, she could not have passed the exam without studying. Or, we could not have gone to the beach yesterday because it was raining all day.
It was obvious to me that Wichita and I were meant to be together, which is why Madison's return could not have been worse timing.
One cannot deny who one is meant to be.
Deny means to say that something is not true, or to refuse to accept or allow something. It is used when someone does not admit to doing something or rejects an idea. For example, she denied the request for a day off because the team was already short on staff.
No, Hugh Alexander has denied my requisition for parts and equipment that I need to build the machine I've designed.
One cannot deny who one is meant to be. And you, my great-great-grandson, are meant to be a musician.
Meant to be means that something is supposed to happen or is the right thing to happen. It shows that something feels natural or like destiny. For example, they met by accident, but it felt like they were meant to be together. This means it felt like they were always supposed to be together.
You and I, we are artists, Miguel. We cannot belong to one family.
Belongs to means that something or someone is owned by or connected to a person, place, or group. For example, the dog belongs to my neighbor, but it often comes to my house to play. This means the dog is my neighbor's pet, but it likes visiting me.
Oh, the fireworks have begun.
The sentence, "the fireworks have begun," is in the present perfect tense. The present perfect tense is used for actions that started in the past and still have an effect now or have just happened. In this sentence, the fireworks started a short time ago and are still happening. The structure of the present perfect tense is subject plus have, has, plus past participle. For example, they have lived in this house since 2010 and they don't want to move. Or, she has studied English for 5 years, so she can speak it fluently now.